The stories presented in this video are real, but we have changed the characters' names and altered images to protect their identities. The creator of this video is not an investigative officer. These narratives have been sourced from various internet platforms. Our intent is not to accuse or target anyone in particular. Thank you for understanding.
Sierra Juggin was a vibrant young woman whose laughter echoed in the hearts of everyone around her. She had a way of lighting up a room, her infectious happiness and humor drawing friends and family close. With her dazzling smile and quick wit, Sierra became the sun in her loved ones' lives. She had a mischievous spark in her eyes that hinted at her adventurous spirit, and even when she made mistakes, her charm often diffused any tension, leaving her mother with a smile, despite the circumstances. As she navigated the transition from middle school to high school, Sierra thrived, embracing new experiences and challenges with gusto. Her passion for volleyball was one of the cornerstones of her life. Every practice, every match was filled with her enthusiasm and commitment. Sierra was not just a player, she was a leader, always encouraging her teammates and celebrating their victories, big or small. Her friends often marveled at how effortlessly she seemed to juggle academics, sports, and a bustling social life. She approached life with an unwavering confidence that inspired those around her. On July 19, 2016, the Juggin family returned home from a much-anticipated vacation. The trip had been filled with laughter and bonding moments that they would cherish forever. As they unpacked their bags, Sierra buzzed with excitement for the upcoming fall semester at the University of Toledo. She had grand ambitions, dreaming of studying abroad and immersing herself in new cultures. Her mother was eager to discuss these plans with her, but Sierra was distracted by a new toy, the bike she had received as a gift. Sierra dressed casually in her favorite shorts and a tank top, ready to take her new bike for a spin. With her hair pulled back in a ponytail and a carefree attitude, she told her mother she was heading over to her boyfriend Josh's house, which was a mere few miles away. She was full of anticipation, eager to catch up with him. Her mother, caught up in the day's chores, nodded, reminding her to be careful and promising to talk about her study abroad, dreams later. With the sun shining brightly, Sierra hopped on her bike, her heart light with the thrill of adventure. As she rode through the neighborhood, the world felt full of possibilities. She waved at familiar faces and reveled in the freedom of being outdoors. But as dusk settled, her cheerful spirit would soon be tested in ways no one could have imagined. When Josh realized that Sierra had not returned after several hours, a sense of unease crept over him. He had been trying to reach her, but her phone went straight to voicemail. By 10:15 p.m., he decided to call Sierra's mother, his voice heavy with concern. When he inquired about her whereabouts, Sierra's mother felt an icy chill grip her heart. Sierra was usually responsible and would never go missing without a word. Feeling a knot of worry tightening in her chest, she immediately contacted Sierra's grandparents, who lived nearby. They too had not seen her, and panic began to set in. The night air was thick with anxiety as the family realized that something was deeply wrong. Sierra's mother called upon Josh to join them, and together they began a frantic search. Jumping into her car, Sierra's mother drove through the neighborhood with her heart racing. She scoured the streets, hoping to find any trace of her daughter. Every passing car, every shadow seemed to amplify her fear. As she drove, memories of Sierra flashed through her mind, their laughter, the moments they had shared, the plans they had made. Meanwhile, Sierra's aunt and uncle joined the search, their faces etched with worry. As the hours dragged on and darkness enveloped the neighborhood, desperation turned to dread. Each passing minute felt like an eternity, and the image of Sierra lying injured somewhere haunted her mother's thoughts. She imagined her daughter calling out for help, perhaps lost or in danger. Despite their relentless efforts, no trace of Sierra appeared. Returning home, Sierra's mother refused to succumb to despair. She took to social media, reaching out to friends and acquaintances, hoping someone might have seen or heard from Sierra. The digital age had its advantages, and she knew that if enough people were alerted, they might find her. But as the night wore on, the responses were dishearteningly few. Frustration and fear melded into a potent cocktail of anxiety, compelling her to contact the police. It was a decision no parent ever wishes to make, but the stakes were too high. An hour later, a neighbor called with alarming news. County Road 6 was blocked off. The police were investigating a situation that could be linked to her daughter. Heart-pounding, Sierra's family rushed to the scene, their hopes flaring and dimming with every passing moment. Upon arrival, they encountered a chaotic scene of flashing lights, officers, and the distant murmurs of concerned voices. The family's anguish was palpable as they clung to one another, desperate for answers. "What do you know about my daughter?" Sierra's mother demanded, her voice shaking with a mixture of fear and defiance. Officers, though sympathetic, could only offer platitudes, unable to provide concrete information. They assured her they would do everything possible to find Sierra, but the uncertainty gnawed at her insides. As the investigation unfolded, the small-town police quickly realized the need for more resources. They contacted the FBI, who brought in additional personnel to help coordinate the search. With every passing hour, the clock seemed to tick louder, and Sierra's family remained awake, their hearts heavy with worry and dread. The dark night outside mirrored the turmoil within them as they called local hospitals, desperate to find any sign of their beloved daughter. Just when hope felt utterly extinguished, a glimmer emerged. A lead from a hospital in Detroit reported a young woman fitting Sierra's description had been admitted after escaping from a moving vehicle. The family rushed to the hospital, clinging to the hope that their beloved daughter might still be alive. Yet when they arrived, they were met with disappointment. The young woman was not Sierra. The crushing blow sent them reeling back into the depths of despair. The next morning, police arrived at Sierra's home, bringing an update that sent chills down their spines. During a routine patrol, an officer discovered a broken cornfield nearby. Signs of a struggle were evident. Twisted stalks marked a path where something had transpired. The officer noted motorcycle tracks leading away from the scene, and amidst his search, he found something heart-stopping: Sierra's purple bike. The realization hit them like a freight train. This was no mere disappearance. It was an abduction. With urgency and a sense of dread, the police began collecting evidence from the scene. They discovered a pair of male sunglasses, a bloody sock, and a screwdriver. Each piece a disturbing puzzle in the growing mystery of Sierra's fate. As detectives delved deeper, they began questioning Sierra's friends and family, hoping to piece together her last moments. Through their inquiries, they learned about Sierra and Josh's close relationship. Friends since childhood, they had transitioned into a romantic couple during their freshman year of high school. They often reminisced about their shared adventures on ski slopes and the dreams they had for the future. When detectives spoke with Josh, he recounted the day they had spent together. It had been joyful, filled with the lightness of young love. But when Sierra had insisted he turn back on their bike ride, a shadow fell over the day. Josh reluctantly agreed, unaware of the danger that lay ahead. As the investigation intensified, detectives combed through the evidence with painstaking detail. They discovered motorcycle tracks in the cornfield near where Sierra's bike had been found, sparking suspicion of a local man named James Worley. Worley, when approached, claimed he had been out on his motorcycle the day Sierra went missing, but asserted his bike had broken down. Yet, as the detectives examined his story, they noted inconsistencies that raised their concerns further. During their investigation, they observed scratches on Worley's face, indicating he had been involved in a struggle. Alarmingly, they discovered that he had a history of criminal behavior, including a previous attempted abduction. The detectives felt a chill run down their spines, realizing they might be dealing with a predator. With renewed urgency, detectives returned to Worley's property, armed with a search warrant. Their findings in the barn were disturbing: bags of women's underwear, tools associated with abduction, and an air mattress stained with unknown substances all painted a dark picture of Worley's character. The evidence began to paint a troubling portrait, and the detectives knew they were closing in on a suspect. As the investigation unfolded, the community rallied together. Search parties formed, filled with concerned citizens, friends, and family, all combing through fields and corn rows, driven by the hope of finding Sierra. Local news stations covered the story, keeping her name in the headlines and raising awareness. The candlelight vigil held in her honor was a testament to the love and support Sierra inspired, drawing hundreds who shared stories of her kindness and spirit. Days turned into a blur of interviews, searches, and frantic hope as the police continued their relentless pursuit of the truth. Then a breakthrough came when a farmer noticed an area of flattened corn in his field. As he approached, he spotted a mound of dirt that looked suspiciously out of place. Trusting his instincts, he contacted the police, who responded promptly. Upon arrival, officers examined the mound, feeling a rising sense of dread. Digging deeper, they unearthed evidence that would forever change the course of the investigation. The remains of a young woman were discovered, leading to a chilling confirmation through DNA testing. It was Sierra Juggin. The news reverberated through the community, plunging her family into a pit of despair. Clara, Sierra's mother, felt as if the world had crumbled beneath her. She was overwhelmed with grief, her heart shattered into a million pieces. Sierra's family now faced the agonizing reality of planning a funeral for their beloved daughter. The heart-wrenching task of saying goodbye was further complicated by the harrowing details of the investigation, which were unfolding publicly. James Worley was swiftly arrested, facing charges of kidnapping and murder. As the evidence against him mounted, it painted a horrific picture of Sierra's last moments, leaving the family grappling with questions that would never have answers. When the trial began, it drew national attention, becoming a focal point for discussions about safety and justice. The courtroom was packed with community members eager to bear witness to the proceedings, their hearts aching with the desire for justice. Sierra's family sat through days of emotional testimonies, often reliving their loss as the prosecution painted a vivid picture of who Sierra was: a daughter, a friend, a vibrant soul taken too soon. Despite the overwhelming evidence against him, Worley pleaded not guilty, igniting outrage among those who filled the courtroom. Witness after witness took the stand, sharing cherished memories of Sierra's life, painting a picture of a young woman full of dreams and aspirations. The juxtaposition of her vibrant existence against the dark realities of her abduction left many in tears. After 8 agonizing days of testimony, the jury deliberated for 6 hours. The tension in the courtroom was palpable, hearts racing as everyone awaited the verdict. When the announcement finally came, guilty on all charges, the air was filled with a mix of relief and sorrow. Clara collapsed into the arms of her family, tears streaming down her face, her heart torn between the relief of justice served and the anguish of loss. In the months that followed, the community sought ways to honor Sierra's memory. A memorial was established in her name, a place for family and friends to gather and celebrate her life. Local schools initiated programs focused on safety awareness and community vigilance, ensuring that Sierra's story would serve as a catalyst for change. Workshops were held to educate parents and children about the importance of safety, self-defense, and community engagement. Though the pain of loss lingered like an unwelcome shadow, Sierra's spirit became a beacon of hope and resilience. Her family and friends turned their grief into action, becoming advocates for missing persons and working to change policies surrounding safety and awareness. In Sierra's honor, they established scholarships to support young women pursuing education, echoing her dreams and ensuring her legacy would continue to inspire others. As the years passed, the community never forgot Sierra. Her name became synonymous with resilience, and the memorial in her honor served as a gathering place for those touched by her spirit. The annual Remembrance event grew, drawing people from near and far to celebrate Sierra's life, share stories, and promote the values she embodied: kindness, courage, and the importance of cherishing every moment. In the end, Sierra Juggin's story became a powerful reminder of the fragility of life and the strength of community. Her memory lived on in the hearts of those who loved her, a testament to the enduring spirit of a young woman whose light flickered too soon. As they moved forward, her family and friends continued to honor her legacy, determined to make the world a safer place for future generations, forever carrying Sierra's spirit within them.